Hello, everybody. Hey. I wanted to just have a quick chat about Jeffrey Epstein and whether or not he was assassinated. So people not aware of Jeffrey Epstein, and I know most people know about him, but not everybody does. He was I'm actually sure what he did, but he was a famous rich guy who was a convicted pedophile. And so he lured and used young girls to have sex with them, and he also encouraged other famous and rich and powerful people to do the same thing. And he even had an island and had tours, and rich and famous men went on them and had sex with the girls. Now, allegedly, there were three really, really, really high-profile people that went there. Now, I can't say they definitely did, so this is, again, allegedly, as I'm not the one making allegations, repeating them. So the three that were pretty big names were Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and Prince Andrew of England. So Prince Andrew of England is a son of Queen Elizabeth II, but he's like the second son, I think, and he's not in line for the throne, not unless King Charles would have to die, and then so would both his kids and all their kids, and then Andrew would be in power. So it's a fair way down nowadays, but there was for quite a while he was number two, but now he's a fair way back now. But anyway, so he's in fact in a fair bit of legal trouble. The Trump and Clinton ones have pretty much been dismissed. But at the time that Epstein died, Donald Trump was the president. And Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton's wife, of course, had just lost the election. So there were two competing stories going around. One was that Donald Trump had him killed. And as sitting president, he probably had the power to do it. The second was that Hillary Clinton had done it. And as the previous person trying to become president, she probably didn't have the power, but she might have. She wasn't too far away from the power base, and it's possible. And of course, some people said, well, she didn't actually use CIA. She actually just had her own people. Now, I want to focus on the CIA angle, but there is also, now that we know that Prince Andrew was there as well, of course, we know the Queen can order assassinations. Whether she can in USA is another issue entirely. She probably can. So there are assassinations carried out around the world in other countries, but then the governing body can stop them and so forth. They certainly can have assassination orders in other countries. We saw Osama bin Laden was killed in Pakistan on USA orders. So that was an assassination order. In case you're not aware, he was assassinated. He wasn't put to trial. He was assassinated. In fact, Barack Obama bragged about it. Some people said he wasn't really killed, but yeah, that's a pretty obvious assassination order. So certainly we know that the USA can do assassination orders. And but was Jeffrey Epstein one of them? And what was the process? So look, I don't know for sure. I'm not revealing secret information. If I did know, I wouldn't be saying it on here. So I don't know, and I'm just speculating. I'm guessing. But certainly, we know, the Osama bin Laden thing, for example, they do have the power to assassinate. We know that, and we know there's laws. Publicly, officially, they never admit to it, or perhaps only in cases like Osama bin Laden when they know everyone's going to agree, but they certainly do it. And I don't think Osama bin Laden was the only person ever assassinated. Yeah. But so if Jeffrey Epstein had dirt on Donald Trump, and when Donald Trump was president, I don't think there's much doubt that Donald Trump would have been the one to order it. But would Trump have done it if he didn't have dirt on him? Maybe he still might have. Maybe just to avoid the speculation. Because what if Epstein went to trial? He was in jail waiting trial. A suicide-proof cell under 24-hour supervision, somebody dies. It's not really believable, and it's not even possible, really. So Yeah, my teeth's a bit yellow, but anyway. Yeah, so I just don't accept that. So yeah, would Trump have done it even if he wasn't guilty? He might have, and that's the thing. Sometimes it's just better just to not have that story out there. So then we get the question of Hillary Clinton, and I'm not going to say she didn't have the power, but certainly the Trump angle is more believable. I know some people think I'm pro-Trump or whatever, but no, I think in this case Trump was the one more likely to have done it. That's not to say that Hillary Clinton didn't have some power. I mean, her husband Bill Clinton had been president, and he would have certainly had power at that stage, and perhaps there was still that lingering power. Plus, of course, Hillary had been the member of, was it the foreign secretary, I think is the word, and she was certainly able to carry out assassinations in that role. So there could have been, of course, with Obama's approval, there could have been some legacy authority there that she still had some power from those roles. And, you know, certainly from a historical point of view, she had more power than Trump. It's just that as president, Trump should have had more power. But certainly there's a possibility that Hillary Clinton had that power and that she would have authorised it. And of course, to protect her husband, she would have. And we know that Hillary Clinton tried to order the assassination of Julian Assange, and that was before he stuffed up her election. Of course, we know Julian Assange, the leader of WikiLeaks, exposed some of Hillary Clinton's activities. And by the way, that's absolutely proven. There's no question about that. I know that they question it and they go, oh, no, it's not true. No, it's true. But it probably was legal. That's the other thing. It's probably, yeah, she was taking advantage of other countries and making money out of them, but allowed to do it. I mean, she's faced no criminal charges over it. And equally, of course, Joe Biden and his son did pretty much the same thing, but in the Ukraine specifically. Perfectly legal as far as I can tell. So that's the issue. So, yeah, I think historically Hillary Clinton had more power, but in that exact moment, Donald Trump should have had more power. But whether they were all following what he said is another issue entirely. So, yeah, was Jeffrey Epstein assassinated? I think probably. I mean, I don't absolutely know. I don't have a document in front of me saying, oh, he was definitely assassinated, but I think it's hard to believe that he wasn't. That's the question. If you look at, they've got the power and the motivation, and it certainly looks like an assassination. You have to think he was. You have to think he was, and I think that was the predominant view. I know it became a bit of a meme, and so people don't really trust memes, but I think he was. And it's a question of whether it was Trump or Hillary Clinton who did it. Or nowadays we can say, well, maybe the Queen did it. Or maybe all three got together and said, yeah, this is a good idea. Probably not. I don't think they work that way. But, you know, I think that certainly perhaps there's a possibility that none of them officially ordered it, but it's just that the CIA or whoever's in charge of that sort of thing, I don't know who is, but they just went, yeah, okay, I think he obviously needs to die. So he was killed. Might not have been, you know, Trump saying, hey, kill the guy. Might not have been Hillary Clinton. Might not have been the Queen. Might not have been anyone. They might have just said, yeah, okay, it's pretty obvious. But I think he was probably assassinated. And yeah, so that's my view. I might be wrong, but I think probably I'm right on that one. So yeah, that's it for me. Bye-bye.